Welcome to the Dragon Egg Meditation for Yesod. Most of you guys don't want to do this. Most of you guys don't really want to do anything. And look at the planet. Humble yourself and do the work. You get rewards when you do the work. You do not get rewards when you don't. So if you're doing this, you should do the crystal yoke also before the initiation. The more work you put in, the more you get out. I don't care if this is out of alignment with your spiritual path, whatever the fuck you're thinking that is. Anytime I say anything to anybody, that is their first response. That's not my path, that's just yours. I'm sorry, but Kabbalah, the tree of life, is the tree of life. There is no separation. It encompasses the entirety. There is no running. You will either be an ego or you will be an egg grow. One or the other. What other messages do you guys deserve? I'm doing this video. You only need to do it once. Once. For the Yesod initiation. I'm doing it in part 1, part 2, and part 3. It's the advanced egg. I am doing this every day, sometimes for 3 hours a day, on top of everything else, and working out, and putting this class together to bring about a new world. And most of you guys can only not even do it once, much less 3 hours a day. Your concepts, what you need to do in life, priorities, need reevaluation. You'll see me with wearing makeup and wearing no makeup. I am exhausted. Because most of you won't even pick up 101 hours of trash. Okay, let's begin. All the anchor balls go into place. 5 boxes up, 4 boxes below. And then an anchor ball at the vertex of the pyramid at the bottom, and the pyramid at the top. And from those anchor balls grow metal braids, 4 posts going up and 4 posts going down. And then the diagonals for the pyramids. Make sure that you have the central column, the central spine, up the middle. I had an acting teacher once give me the same lecture, not understanding that I was also just a slave doing everything I could do. And saying, if you really wanted to make it in the industry, you'd have to bleed to do it. I didn't need to make it in the entertainment industry, but I did need to make it into the shaman industry. Ascended master territory. Play with the blood. You are either all in or you are nothing in this world. Anchor balls, diagonals into the central spine. So from the external 4-post anchor balls, they send diagonals into the central spine. I do not have a pearl with that illustration yet, but I will do it. And then those metal braids bleed and root into the spine, layer after layer after layer, in going finer and deeper. There are a couple teachings I have to offer while you guys get all this set up. Star's teaching of being so full of herself as she was standing over somebody, healing them of cancer, with a chip on her shoulder going, "Look what a good healer I am." And her being like her ego bubble being popped. She's a miracle healer. She's better than every single one of you guys. She was back then. You know, my miracle is learning how to clear karma. I am a master karma clearer. Someday I'll have other masteries too. Gebra, karma. All right. Get all of those wires plugged into the spine. The second story was from another Khaleesi, the dance teacher. The story is the same parallel So Star's teaching, you're only as good as today's light. So whatever you did yesterday doesn't fucking matter today at all. The dance teacher is the leader of BBDC Dance Club. He goes, you are only as good as your last performance. So if you suck, that's who you are, even if it's just one performance. So if you're too tired that day, even if you suck, make your message matter. I'm thinking of my Scarlet Later video. Flounder with the words. Forget what I'm trying to say. But the message is clear. The only people that will end up surviving are saints and masters. This is a planetary ascension. Grow the pearls from the top of the egg up, or the wires into the pearls, and then do another iteration up into another set of pearls. And then another iteration up into another set of pearls. Oh my goodness, it's climbing. And then do the same thing below. Until it hits the great central sun above and hits the core of the earth below. So now your tower should feel secure and set. And if you're really lucky, it will arch. And it will go towards your twin flame to anchor their tower above and below, like a double rainbow. If you're lucky. You'll feel a pull at your head. Two dragon heads meeting each other. And then the tails wrapping around each other on the bottom. Kind of like that. Forgive the mess of whatever wires are just hanging out. Send them into pearls, collecting intelligence. You're going to need it. Pieces of your soul hanging out in the ether. If you cannot perform a miracle, or if you're sick, it's because you're spiritually fucked. So you need pieces of your soul back. People think that I don't love. I wouldn't be able to get through hell without more love than what you guys have displayed. Make sure that your twins tower works too, if you can. See it. If you're really smart, you may have already seen this video. It's like Secret of the Wings. It's a Tinkerbell movie. Tink has her ring or wing cut off, right? It's ripped. And then our twin heals it magically. That's you guys and your twin flames. Miracle healing. So if they're a total piece of shit, and you're a queen, maybe it can turn them into a king overnight. Maybe. If you know how to do it. When your double rainbow tower feels good, or your regular tower feels good, some of you guys are like, I'm just going to go independent. Fine. We're going to send the DNA up the tower. Earth element up the tower. You can see it a number of ways if you're doing the twin. You can see it as 3 different strands. One in his, one in yours. This is how, or hers. I'm presuming most of you guys are girls. Doesn't matter. Okay, whatever. I don't care. Do you understand? Twins, master twins, that shit. You're master, you're a master. Doesn't matter to me. Heal. So one up theirs, one up yours, and one between. or just one, but that feels lazy. And the one between wraps, you guys. So that it creates one giant egg. So that's the earth strand. And root the earth strand going up into the DNA, into space, preferably to the great central sun, and root it going into the earth, an earth star of earth star, an earth star of earth star of earth star, etc. And then lower into the core of the earth. Now plug it into the great central spine. Maybe there are 3 spines now. One up the center between you two, one up yours, and one up theirs. Obviously, it's a circle. But it's still a connection. So make that earth bleed and anchor into the spine. All right, we're going to put a couple spells in this egg. First is the Protego Totalum grid. That looks like metal boxes on metal boxes, and then there's the anchor balls, little anchor balls in between all those metal boxes at the corners. So you're anchoring the protection grid between the two of you forever. So unromantically romantic. And then the Salvio-Hexia grid. And that's the boxes at diagonals that end up looking like a honeycomb. That's a world dominance grid. Yeah. King and queen of the planet. Feel the whole earth shake. Boom. All right. Then I guess the Fianto Duri spell. So grapes. Just imagine purple grapes with that purple spirit goo jelly. And just think, I'm healing the god rape. every single one of you guys understand exactly what I'm talking about if you're in this class. All of it will end, don't worry. And then put a fresh one on. More grape jelly. And then ask for the dragon yolk to come into the Salvio Hexia grid. Might be a double yolk. Might just be one yolk. But it feels like magic honey goo coming in. Is that what the honey magic was supposed to be for? Yep. When you guys are finally ready to start wanting my magic, you'll get it. Yes, this is the heart of the twin dragon that I was talking about on my website. Hearing that question. All right. This is good. Next. Rapello's Muggletum, or Muggle Time, in both of the whole egg between you, your mate, everything. It's those little white X's being emanated. Some of you guys can ask for Dino Star to help. That's the Light Fury. She's a princess. She's rad. She's both, I want to say, she's both the Light Fury and the Alpha in How to Train Your Dragon. If anybody has ever seen the giant Alpha ice dragon, that's Dino Star at her finest, is both. Like, Lucy the same. All right, Rapello, Squib Time. If you saw Avatar and the Sacred Seeds, but carmine beetroot red. all over. If you feel like you need to re-establish a new protego-totalum grid, do it. The minute we bring in that big dino star and that big Lucy, the egg might feel like it collapsed, but it didn't. It just has a new structure. It needs to rebuild. Maybe finer and stronger. Deeper. Sometimes when you bring in the bigger energies, it collapses. And then we go a new salviohexia grid, the honeycomb, and then ask for the real dragon yolk to come through. And this is just earth. All right. And then we go Repello and Nimicum, and it looks like God's semen coming through the egg and then outside the egg to make sure nobody gets in. Don't worry, we'll figure out the logic. It's sparkly God semen. And then what? We go Intelligentsia, and then the little blue spirals of galaxies, like blue fairies sparkle dust, with fat galaxies all around throughout that egg. Going deep into the ground too. Make sure to continue to get the bottom just as much as the top. And then I like this spell. This is my guiding light. Heart center, love light, portal vortex through the night. And bright stars that are green should just start emanating everywhere through your heart. Yeah, no matter what, your heart is guiding you. Even when you look like shit to everybody else. And then soul sparkles, which looks not like, it doesn't look like the Fianto Duri spell, even though it's purple. It looks like purple glitter. And it emanates everywhere. Always. Intelligentsia without soul is shit. could be a crazy old lady with some soul and be 1,000 times more powerful than the greatest Hermione on earth. All right. Now, we're going to fix everything through the dimensions. If you've watched the Snakes and Ladders video, you would understand this. Please understand that if God does not waste energy, then I do not waste energy. So when I put the Snakes and Ladders healing modality on the Yesod before the meditations, it's for a reason. So send the wires to go collect the DNA strand of the bone dimension, dimension 11. And then we're going to pull the bone dimension all the way in and like fill it into our egg like a yolk. And that heals the bone connection in your bones, in the dragon egg bones, everything. And in your twins' bones. You might have visions of like your bones being chopped up and regrafted. It's pretty scary but rad, because then you'll also feel the new connections. And fill it all the way up to the top of the egg. There we go, dimension 12, the muscle bone, or the muscles, the muscle dimension. So send your claws up to reach up and go latch on to the dimension muscles 12. And then fill that into the egg. Bones is where you're being one with God. So if you have shitty bones, that should say something. All diseases are spiritual diseases. Get over it. If you have not learned that lesson by now, you're gonna get it in a really fucked up way. When you feel the muscle, come in. There we go. Dimension 13. Nerves. Bring in the nerve dimension. Send those claws up. You might feel it coming through your sacral chakra, right? Those claws will start coming out of your sacral and then clawing up to bring it in. Yeah, that's when you go like, yeah, that's really good. Some of them might come through your feet. It's a whole other ball game. Some guy posted on my Facebook, "You're all over the place and you're not nice." And I go, I didn't know nice was a virtue. See you in hell. You want to know why? It's not a virtue. Compassion's a virtue. Nice is not a virtue. Nice has led to the destruction of a planet. Truth is a virtue. When is the truth ever nice? And I'm thinking, is love a virtue? You want to know the virtue of Tiferet? It's beauty. It's not even love. Let's just remind ourselves that QuickTime sucks. It's beauty, not even love. Love sits at Hesed, but that's compassion. God's love, Bina, Black Death. This is why you guys say this is not your path, because it sucks. Because it's honest. Hard. Because it makes you face shadows and reality. You guys aren't going to heaven if this place doesn't look like it. Let me give you that teaching. If earth doesn't look like heaven, you guys don't deserve heaven. And all the assholes were like, green technology is... No, biotechnology. Mentalism. Natural. Garden of Eden. Not that shit you're seeing everywhere. In the future gardens. That's gonna be destroyed by my dragons. Just one. I only need one dragon to destroy that. You guys might want to learn how to do this work. Instead of continuously taking the easy road. Even when the world looks like Harry Potter, it's still going to be replaced by Neverland. Do you understand? That's just a phase. We're just hitting the Harry Potter mark. Real yoga. Okay. That's the message that needed to come through Dimension 13, your nervous system. Communication. You think that the shitty futuristic technology, that's like heaven to the real gods? That looks like shit. Aeon flux. I like the Wrinkle in Time where the goddesses are like, spaceship, we teleport from planet to planet. Low bar. This is what you guys all asked for, a planetary ascension. Just remember that. Okay. Dimension 14, circulatory system. This is where the heart of the matter comes in. Get those claws. Go up and up and up. And pull that down. Maybe the claws come out of your heart too. There we go. If you're feeling yourself or your twinny or whatever dying, just remember a cat's got 9 lives. So if you're feeling deaths, that's okay. Yesod. It's a teaching. They're alchemical deaths. You just keep going. Make sure it goes below. You'd be smart if you had claws coming out from the core of the earth to plug into your egg and make sure that all those dimensions are getting to the core too. That'd be really smart. All right. Really excited for the I Love My Elf teaching. It's going to come through in Hode. It's where you drop the self and it's just you and your mate. I love my elf instead of I love myself. You guys all suck. None of you know any of these teachings. This is like Egyptian old magic. The elven races for Hode. Here's a secret. There's a whole other ball game when you start dropping the S's. You look at words without them. There's a spiritual teaching in it. Spiritual, ritual, same thing. Slava, lava. When did I learn this? Hathor taught it to me a couple of years ago. It was rad. And she was getting me out of my muggle body. There was a day, and this story is too good for every one of you, but whatever. There was a day, this is kind of around the same time of the Charlie like killing me, but this is when I was working for Real Meat. There was a day where she had me pour an entire bottle of orange oil into a bathtub. And I sat into the bathtub, and then all of a sudden, my thighs were on fire, and she's running the dimensions with me, and she just breathed through it. And like, I thought I was gonna have to go to the hospital. My thighs were inflamed and insane. And she's like, it's grounding. It's like that torture is blessing. After about 10 minutes, it went away magically. And so did all the inflamed tissue. She said, breathe, trust in me. And I did. She's probably one of the only spirits out there that I trust. Bitch is hardcore. Her and the dragons. Jesus. No. That's a fucking joke. I trust Jesus to like bring me Hathor. I was an 11-11 grid. Just so you understand. I throw Hathor into the lava. Hathor's like, yeah, I am the lava. I throw Jesus into the lava. Jesus is like, why did you do that to me? Like, there's a big fucking difference between the two of them. Jesus is great for that heart chakra, but not so great for the lower worlds. There's a reason why the mystery school can't give you the root chakra initiation and the sacral chakra initiation, because they don't have it. Do you understand? There's a reason why you do not hear about the avatar of the root chakra, Kali. That shit's hard. It's really easy to preach nice things. It's not easy to do the work in the physical world. It's slaughtered in the physical world. All right. Next, that's the heart of the matter that needed to get through. All right, 15. Claws up to 15. Respiratory system. This is where it really begins to anchor in. There's a reason why Hathor came in through 14 too. Path 14. It's too good for the rest of you. This Emperor energy is coming in through 15. Now I understand. All right. Claws. Maybe you guys can be good enough to start bringing the other elements in too. So the water element, you can claw into it and bring it in and layer it in. The air element, fire element, and the ether element, and the spirit goo element. All right. This is the dragon egg part 1. Make sure all of this is good and filled between you and your twin with that center area for a family dynasty. Create some royal families on the planet. Real ones. Unless Prince Harry is doing this work. I don't see anybody else wanting to. Color N out.